AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
You know, I always say I don't watch college ball like that. I was never a fan of it. Some of it was kind of just because it was predatory watching kids to me and kids that don't pan out a lot of times. And throughout the years, it always felt like I'm watching Danny Manning come to the league, #1 pick, Joe Smith, Christian Leitner, and just a lot of guys come to the league. And I'm like, this is the guy you guys hyped up? And another guy that was hyped up growing up, and you know I'm Dominicano all day, que lo que, Felipe Lopez. The hype with him was crazy in the city. And
might be one of that might be the biggest hype all time. I mean, at that time, well deserved though. I'm not going to disrespect him. At that time, well deserved.
Well deserved, and you had other guys in the city like Stephon Marbury, who I feel like were getting outshined by Felipe Lopez, or at least the hype. I don't know about the play because I wasn't there to watch it in high school, but the shine was like LeBron hype back then.
Yeah, but I was there for that. I kind of disagree. I don't think he shined Stephon Marbury because Marbury was Marbury. He wasn't called Starbury for a reason. He was a superstar since the age of 11, 12 years old. So, you know, if we want to be technical, Felipe Lopez overshined everybody. If you really want to think about it, his high school era, it was all about Felipe. But Stephon Marbury, still great at Lincoln, went to Georgia Tech, and then the rest is history. So I don't really think he overshined, per se, Stephon Marbury because Marbury still had all the hype in the world. But Felipe Lopez was the biggest thing. And, you know, people fail to realize that as great and as big as Paul's LeBron James was in high school, that wasn't nowhere near as close as to what Felipe Lopez was. And maybe that has to do with him being Dominican and just having the whole country support. But big shout out to LeBron James. But when it comes to high school and hype and just out of this world, nobody was bigger than Felipe Lopez.
And I'm glad you said that because Marbury was still there. There's other kids in that are currently being recruited who aren't getting the hype, even though Marbury got his hype, because the one kid that's being recruited and is just talked about.
I know where you're going.
He's a shoo-in for the #1 draft pick. And again, like I said, I don't like watching college ball. I never like watching college ball, and I don't like watching high school because it's like, dude, how do these kids really pan out? Cooper Flagg right now is being touted as the #1 pick. And for me, all I hear is you guys learning from you guys. He was supposed to reclassify and play the 17-year-olds. He never did that. He stayed with the 16-year-olds. His mom was a coach. His mom was a former athlete. He used to play ball too. She was killing back in the day. He's from Massachusetts. He ended up going to a very popular high school. I think it was Overt or something like that. But the point is, he's another guy, another one of these Instagram dudes who look at what happened with Bronny. And look what you think about Bryce right now. You're thinking the same thing's repeating itself. For me, it feels like Cooper Flagg, even looking at Charlotte Dorian 82, I watched down how he broke down a scouting video with Cooper Flagg, and it was like, he's kind of flawed that much when he was playing Cameron Boozer just now. And Cameron Boozer was giving him the business. And just, they're comparing him to Andre Kirilenko, and I think other defensive guys in the league, and I'm like, so he's all this, but when you watch, it's like, where the instincts at? Okay, offensively, he got a handle, he can dunk and everything, but again, like Dorian 82 pointed out, he was doing that against 16-year-olds. When it came to Cameron Boozer, who was NBA ready scouted dude, he's starting out shine guys like that in the fashion of what we always talk about. How Bronny got up there. Is really my question is Cooper Flagg the last test for these IG type of American players? Because we see Wemby, we see the Paris, the French Revolution happening in Paris. And America seems like fact, the only success for the rest of these American players just utilizing Instagram to get the #1 draft pick.
This is tough, man. Wow. I'm so I'm gonna say this. Cooper Flagg is definitely being hyped. I don't want to go so far as saying overhyped yet. I don't want to go as far as saying overrated yet. But we rarely see, guys like that be great in the NBA. You have Larry Bird, you have Dirk, you now have Luka. The AK-47 Karolinko comparison. I don't know where they got that from. Maybe because they're both white boys, Caucasian. I guess, or Caucasian. Excuse me. Because I don't see what defense. Nobody plays defense no more. Now, can he go get a block? Yes. Like I said, he's legit 6'10". He's a good player, but I don't see the hype. And then, but one thing I realized, when they want you to be something, they're going to make sure you're that. They need this to be great. Whoever they are. But we see what's going on. I've watched him play a couple times on TV. I've seen him once in person. I really wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed how everybody else is. But you see what they're doing. They show him looking decent against, the Olympic team. So now that makes the hype even more crazier. But yeah, they're definitely, the hype train is definitely behind Cooper Flagg. And it's bad because you made a great point. There's so many other young men that's good. That's just as good, maybe even better. I give you a name, Cam Scott. Big shout out Cam Scott, probably the best high school player in South Carolina. Just committed. First he committed to Texas, then he decommitted. Now he's staying home. This is his first year going to be playing in South Carolina. So that's a name I can give you that, is not getting all the hype like, a Cooper Flagg. And I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of other names out there. So, yeah, like I said, I watched him play, good player. But the difference between him and, let's say, a LeBron, let's say a Felipe, let's even say, what's my guy in Brooklyn? The point guard, Lincoln, Sebastian. A lot of those guys had hype, but it showed on the court. But a lot of these high school kids now, I don't know if they're breaking any records. I don't know if they're winning any state championships. I don't know if their high school records is immaculate. Like when you look at LeBron, Felipe, Sebastian, like those guys was superstars. Their games was televised, and they was winning titles for their high schools. I don't know what these young men and women are doing now, especially Cooper Flagg. I only see him, like you said, on social media. But when I did see him in person, I wasn't impressed. I'm sorry, I just wasn't.
And then what he did with the Olympics, it's like he's using all these moments to hype himself up. And we see this in all categories of entertainment. Hollywood, they pay who knows a buco amount of money to put you in a certain movie, to give you a certain look. They'll put Megan Thee Stallion in a movie because they know that's an A-list celebrity, according to them. Because I don't even know one hit Megan Thee Stallion song, but she's over there with she's on national TV during the presidential race, and that to me is like that's all money. It's all marketing. And in America, it feels like, yo, where are we gonna have the actual filtering of talent where we go, nah, AllBall is impressed by these dudes. Like, this is legit. Why does it, like, we're on Instagram, it's so accessible, everything is so accessible. Why can't we have access to a system like that? And I'm not saying everything is perfect, because like I said, I mentioned Danny Manning, Christian Laettner, these guys. I'm like, that's who you guys hyping up? I never understood that. But for me, I just feel like, what is going on? Because what that was the other parts of the LeBron James Bronny thing. Y'all really utilize social media to get him $8 million with the Lakers, and it's like with Cooper Flagg, I mean, I know it's not our fault. We're not the one signing him, but I mean, and that's the other side to this. So these NBA teams, what are you spending your money on? Like, how are you drafting these guys?
See, for me, and that was a great comparison, with the Bronny James thing. I have a problem with the hype, and these guys are not even dominating high school. When you bring up LeBron, Sebastian, Felipe, I'm just bringing up those guys, even a Lance Stevenson. Like, these guys 3-4 straight years, national titles, averaging 25, 30, icons in high school, dominating. However they pan out in the NBA, I'm just saying at that level, dominating. Cooper Flagg is not dominating high school. When you talk to a lot of people, yeah, they're going to say he's one of the best high school players, but he's not the best. So for me, same thing with Bronny James. The hype. But once again, when you go back to the tape, when you talk to the peers, when you talk to people that's not scared to voice their opinion and be honest, these guys are not dominating. So like you said, this is, and I've said this for a while, when social media is utilized right, it can change your life. And I'm not knocking them, but like you said, these GMs and these owners of these, franchises, these NBA teams, at the end of the day, what are you signing up for? Like literally, what are you signing up for? And then just think about 4 or 5 years from now, what the money is going to be compared to today. When these contracts is $400-500 million contracts, and guys is not even all-stars, or you get into the playoffs or championship contention, let alone you're not even dominating high school or college. I give you another name, Zion Williamson. The hype was real. In high school, it was like men against boys. So for me, when I look at Cooper Flagg, when I look at Bronny, well, y'all better than Zion in high school? I'm not even going back to LeBron or the other guys. The last hype that lived up to it, Zion. And like I said, when you look at his high school highlights, when you look at him in Duke, even though he was injured, you can tell, oh yeah, he's different.
NBA ready.
Right. With Bronny, with Cooper, I don't see that. Nah, he different. I just don't see it. Now, it may take some time, but the hype, I don't get it. But definitely hype. Definitely.
It might get to a point where these scouts might get fired for mentioning Instagram when they talk about the players of these NBA teams.
Crazy, man.
Any kind of social media. AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.